Hello everybody, and welcome to this week's energy update for December 26th through to January 2nd. I hope all of you who celebrate had a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Wishing you all so much love and light, hoping you all had an opportunity to rest and to really dive into those themes of joy and celebration and gathering together. And I know for a lot of us, the holidays sometimes for some of us can be hard and can bring some difficulties, as well as perhaps seeing people we haven't seen for a while. Perhaps we've been feeling this temptation to cater to others throughout this season and to not have those proper boundaries. So know that you're not alone in that. A lot of us have also been sometimes finding the holidays a little bit of a harder time. But hopefully this week brings some rest and renewal to you, and to know that we're now through that season and it's time to really once again focus back on life and what's coming forward for us. So this week we have a lot of different themes, and honestly I wasn't able to just pinpoint them all out. I just kind of want to dive right in because there was a lot that wanted to come through for us, and a lot about keeping ourselves clear of negative energy, of really once again harnessing our joy and focusing our hearts there. So much about the heart chakra this week, and really helping us understand how we're receiving love, how we're participating in life, how we are empowering ourselves. A lot of this week about staying centered on those higher vibrations and really getting inspired for life. We do have a big theme of shadow work this week, and I do believe our Mercury retrograde begins this week as well. So we have some shadow work coming through. We have some heavier energies as well that might at first make us feel a little caught off guard, but it's nothing to fear or worry. And what I'm really hearing for us this week is to remain in our power, to look at things honestly and objectively, and to really come to this understanding that we are the rulers of our lives. So we have that choice to reparent ourselves, to make the changes that are necessary. So really keep all these themes in mind as we go forward. So let's dive into this first theme that I received today, and this is the theme of relief and recovery. So what I was really hearing for a lot of us is, as wonderful as the holidays can be for a lot of us, it can be tiring. It can be like, okay, I really need some rest. I really need some alone time. I really need to be able to recover from all the merriment, or even just perhaps if you didn't enjoy the holidays, recovery from whatever that experience was for you. And what I'm kind of hearing is some of us have been holding on to a little bit of hurt, resentment, some heaviness. And what I'm really hearing as we head into this new week, to recognize that is over now, and to rest your weary head was what I heard. It was like, okay, let's just let life be for a while. Just rest yourself, recover, and know that help and guidance is on the way, okay? So if you've been feeling helpless, if you've been feeling a little bit down in the dumps, what I'm really hearing is it's time to look around and see the light, knowing that help is available to you. So I'm seeing a huge highlight on calling in assistance this week, having some support systems that are available for you, and taking advantage of those if you need them. And I'm really hearing, really take advantage of your guides, your spiritual helpers, those who can understand perhaps what you're kind of going through, because I'm really hearing a lot of us are having some big life changes. We're having some big epiphanies. Life is really having this beautiful way of reconnecting us with our true authentic self, and sometimes that can be more challenging than we at first recognize, because we're getting this awareness of all that isn't true to us. We're getting this awareness of perhaps even family and close loved ones that just no longer resonate with the path we're on, or having these things really enlightened within our lives. And so it's really important for us to go slowly and really allow ourselves to work through this heavy time and period that sometimes we can get in. And I'm really hearing to reestablish your power in your life and find those outlets, find that support you need, and really find those areas of light in your life, and really take your mental health in high consideration and priority this week, okay? So if you're having a hard time, if you've been down in the dumps, really allow yourself to connect with what can reignite your soul again, okay? Very, very important. I'm seeing a lot of us heading into kind of these addictions of fear and worry and participating in those old patterns. And what I'm really hearing is we no longer want to do that. We're ready to move forward. And I'm seeing this awareness come in, especially this past week, of where we have been participating in that addictive behavior. So I'm getting shown some examples of overcrossed boundaries, of letting people walk all over us, or us not being able to put in strong boundaries or voice our needs. That's a very highlighted one for a lot of us. And so they're kind of wanting us to reflect on this past time that we've had with family and friends, and how has our attitude been? How have we been approaching our relationships in life, and how has that changed, and where do we need further change to happen now? So if you found yourself in one of those addictive behaviors, of people pleasing, of worrying, of fearing, disappointing others, whatever this would be for you, because each of us will be unique in this, but really analyze your behaviors this week and really kind of take what lessons you can. What do you want to change? What do you want to do differently from this past week? And how can we really be that instigator of change in our life and go, okay, I'm going to take the driver's seat. I'm going to let go of how I did things before and reinforce what's true to me now. And so I'm seeing this need come in. So take what resonates here. This might not be the experience for everybody, but I am definitely feeling this come up for a lot of us. So really allow yourself to release, go into where some course corrections might be needed, and recognize you cannot please everyone. So I'm hearing that very strong message for some of you. So take this with a grain of salt, take what resonates, and leave the rest here. From there, we move into this energy of deadlines and undue stress. So once again, seeing this rise up in this addiction to worrying and to fear-based energies, where we're very much almost like perpetuating this cycle of endless struggle and strive. And so what I'm seeing this week is we need to be, once again, very mindful of where we're putting a lot of undue stress on ourselves. So where are we putting unnecessary stipulations, deadlines, pressure on ourselves that's really not needed? And we're really needing to have this honest conversation with ourselves where it's like, okay, where am I spearheading all of this drama and pressure and unrealistic expectation upon my day, upon myself, upon whatever it is we're in the midst of working on at the moment? And what I'm really hearing, it's like, remove that. Everything is within divine timing. So let things happen organically. Let yourself take that step back and take life one day at a time. And what I'm really hearing, it's like, and remember to partake in life's abundance, okay? So once more, we might have this temptation to slip back into old ways of being this week, where it's like, oh my gosh, I gotta get caught up in getting this done or working on this project and getting hard on ourselves. And it's like, no, this is no longer the way. Remember this new dedication to self, this new version you are creating, this new life for yourself. And it's like, let's now slow down. Let's take things one day at a time. Let's not beat ourselves up for work we were wanting to accomplish. And it's like, let things flow, because when we do that, that's when things really actually come together. It's not when we're forcing things. It's not when we're struggling. It's when we're letting things really naturally come about. So they're kind of giving me this example of a writer who's perhaps facing writer's block, and they're sitting there and they're just forcing themselves to write, but none of it is feeling natural. None of it has a flow. And then there's this frustration, and it's like, why can't I just create what I want to create? And then putting these like stipulations of a timeline. So it's like, if this relates to you in this example of the writer, it's like, oh, well, I need to have my book done by this time. And it's like, even if that is the case, it's like, how can we trust the ebb and flow and to know that everything will work out just as it should? And they're really giving this example of, go get some inspiration, go get out of your head, get out of that energy of forcing and struggling and striving, and choose different. So what I'm hearing when we meet that energy of struggle and force, and we catch ourselves in this pattern this week, we're really being called to action, to take charge of changing that energy. So what can you do to re-inspire yourself, to re-motivate yourself? Because if this is something we're wanting to accomplish, how can we get the fire lit? How can we get the fire burning again? So it's like, instead of beating yourself up for not doing it, it's like, take breaks, take a rest, allow yourself to reignite what makes you want to do this in the first place, instead of forcing, because nothing good will come from that behavior. So really seeing the full picture of our behaviors is important this week, and really allowing ourselves to get a little bit more honest. Am I doing this every day? Am I perpetuating this energy? And is that the energy I really want to perpetuate and manifest into my reality? So really, once again, coming to this energy of empowering the self, okay? So what I wrote here is, partake in life's abundance, fill your heart with all life's goodness, and watch your soul sing. So once again, it's like we're reinvigorating ourselves by loving and positive reinforcement, instead of this negative, beating of ourselves and what we have and accomplished. We're now choosing a totally different route and way of bringing about this motivation through love. And with that, it's like, how can you get inspired? So what are things, activities, material, people that light you up, and how can you partake more in those energies? How can you see that life is already abundant? Because I'm seeing a lot of us get stuck in this lack mentality, where it's like, I don't have this yet, I'm jealous, I'm envious, I want this life, and this is the only way I can get it. So they're kind of showing me a mule, so stubborn, right? Mules are known to be stubborn. So it's like being very mindful of where we're stuck in these patterns, and not being willing to make the change, okay? So choose consciously to choose and see life in a different light, and really get on that abundance mindset, because I'm seeing it make such a difference for us as we move into this week, okay? So let's see what else I wrote here. It says, do not worry for others. Okay, so this was another theme that really came through for us this week as well, and the theme of addiction. So some of us might have this unhealthy attachment to people in our lives where we're taking on their energies. We're worried about them. We're constantly perhaps micromanaging. We're feeling almost a little bit overly concerned for others and what direction they're going in life. So this might be a message for, once again, a select few of us, but really analyze your relationship this week, because I'm really seeing our relationships really be such a mirror for us to help us see where we are perhaps, once again, overstepping boundaries. So where are we taking responsibility for others where it's not necessary? So what I wrote here was, do not worry for others. They are on their own journey. They shall learn their lessons just like you. So once again, we need to remember that each of us are here to have a human experience, and that sometimes means making quote unquote mistakes. And I'm very much an advocate of there are no mistakes. We're all here to learn these lessons. We're all here to experience that. So it's like, once again, what we might see as a pitfall or a mistake or a bad way that people might be falling in, it's like recognizing that that might be the path that that person needs to be on at this point in time, and allowing ourselves to not give away our power or give into fear. And what I'm really hearing is this can be challenging, and I'm really seeing this be a big challenge for some of us. And it's like, but how can we let ourselves be free and let these other individuals in our lives live free and recognize that their journey is exactly what it needs to be. This is exactly the human experience that their soul came to experience. So how can we stop meddling in that and removing our fear, removing our need to protect or step in or to coddle or whatever that motivation is for each of us, and just let life be. Okay, so really allow yourself to recognize where we might be taking on too much responsibility for others in our lives, and where we might need to take a step back from that addiction to worrying or micromanaging. So very nice little side message for us and good reminder. So from there we have reawaken hope even in times of darkness or shadow. There always is light, okay? So once again, I'm seeing this shadow aspect come through for us this week where we're feeling heavy, we're feeling dark, and with that, I'm seeing this need to smudge and to sage and to clear this week. So be very mindful of working with your energy body. Is very highlighted, okay? So side message, please clear yourselves, work with your energies, and really be mindful of where we might be retaining negativity that's not needed. So I'm actually seeing us need to sage our homes, our vehicles, places that we're regularly in, even our workspaces. They're showing me it's super important so we can refresh these energies and choose new, right? So we're not lingering in these things, we're letting them clear. So very important to reawaken this hope. And it's like, even when there's that darkness, find the light. Be that person who looks for that light in life. And what I'm really hearing is call in your angels this week. Very strong message of angelic assistance. So realizing that there's nothing we cannot handle and allowing that assistance to come in when it's needed. So once again, hearing this message, ask for help, call on your support team, utilize your ancestors, the power of your ancestral line. I'm hearing that very prudent as well for some of us. So for a select few, you might really have that calling to work with your ancestors as well this week, because we're really healing a lot of generational trauma, really seeing this highlighted on the mother wound. So any of us who have been struggling with our mothers recently, or that divine feminine energy in life, I'm really seeing this as clearing, this is healing. So be mindful of your relationship with your mothers this week, your grandmothers, your ancestors, and how that's relevant to what you are experiencing. But from here we have stop suffering in defeat. Choose a path that aligns with love over suffering. So once again, they're really showing us how we need to take responsibility and ownership in life. So very strong message to not become helpless to life, to not become a victim to life, not to wallow in defeat, but choose consciously love. So how can we realign with love? How can we choose love over the experience of suffering? And recognizing that in anything that we're going through, we have that choice of what is going to be conducive to me, to my dreams, to my healing, and what can I do to take charge and really usher in that love, okay? And with this, I'm seeing when we do this, new opportunities are starting to come in. So the more we work with our heart chakras this week, which is very predominant here, it's like the more we start making space in the heart, we're emptying out the heart of old, stagnant, dense energies, shadow aspects, where we've had a lot of hurt and pain. They're showing me this all pour out from the heart. So sometimes this can feel incredibly overwhelming. It can make us feel debilitated by past hurts and wounds. It can make us feel like we're in this state of suffering. We're in this cloud and we can't see the light. And with that, it's like, but recognize that this emptying, this grand purging that we're doing of the heart chakra is really amazing, because it's helping us clear the way. And so many of us know this, but don't lose sight of that. When we release the old, we make space for new. And that's exactly what's coming in this week, is I'm actually seeing new opportunities present for a lot of us this week, things that we've been waiting for. I'm hearing the word recognition. So some of us might be getting recognition for our efforts this week. We might be getting a promotion. We might be getting a new job. We might have even just people giving us that pat on the back saying, good job, we see you. We're recognizing what you're doing. Keep going. I'm seeing so much of this supportive energy usher in. So it's like in those moments of sadness, of heaviness, remember what is beyond the corner. So much new coming in, and to really listen to that inner calling that's calling you to that energy of more, okay? Because I'm seeing a lot of us kind of recognize there's more to life than this. There's more to life than this suffering. There's more to life than this victim mentality and wallowing in hurt and shame. And you know, I know sometimes it sounds harsh when we say that victim mentality, but it's really calling ourselves out where we're staying unnecessarily in pain and where we need to pick ourselves up and move into that state of empowerment. And so I'm seeing a lot of us get a bit of this ego check where it's like, oh my gosh, okay, right, I need to be more responsible for thoughts I'm partaking in. I need to be more responsible in how I'm viewing life and my perspectives and what needs to change. So remember that this is a loving provision, as much as it might kind of be jarring or shocking for us, because I'm seeing some of us be very awakened to the truth where our ego is kind of hidden things from us. And it can be like, oh, okay, maybe I do need to see that sometimes there are shadow aspects to me, because what happens is all of us only want to see what's good about ourselves. And once more, this is not to shame ourselves. This is not to make ourselves feel worse, to beat ourselves up, but it's where we're doing this self-improvement, where we're now taking control, we're reparenting ourselves, we're making our own decisions, not from a space of old programs and old dialogue, but from the new programs that we are trying to instate that are love-based, that are overall the most loving things for us. And sometimes we need that tough love. We need that awakening to where we've been slacking in this, where we've been consciously choosing suffering and pain over love and light when we have that choice in front of us. So once more, we're not trying to be insensitive here, but we're needing to be mindful. And that's the messages that are really coming through for us, is take responsibility, feel your feelings, allow yourself to be sad, to grieve, whatever that process is as we go through this emptying of the heart. Feel that, be in that experience, but don't stay there. Remind yourself how there's so much beauty, there's so much more to life than just that. So with this, we have new opportunities coming in. We have this reminder, don't close off to what is being offered you. So once again, I'm seeing a lot of us get blindsided by this purge of the heart, and we might feel once again immobilized by this almost like dumping of emotion that we get. And it's like, once again, remind yourself to keep your heart open, because the past might have dictated how we act in that. So when we've been hurt, our natural defense system is to close off so we don't get hurt again, so we don't re-experience those things. But what I'm seeing, it's like, don't fall into that pattern again. Don't close your heart again. Don't close off. Allow yourself to open the heart and receive willingly. So I'm really seeing love. I'm seeing new opportunity. Once again, that's being freely offered us. It's almost like, it's literally like this open hand that they're showing me. It's free. It's like, it's yours to take. And so don't get caught in those old patterns of refusing what's meant to be yours. Allow yourself to receive freely. Remember, if anything this week, to receive with an open heart. This is healing for the heart chakra, to recognize that we don't always have to earn love. We don't always have to, suffer to receive. And that's what I'm really seeing come through, is a lot of these opportunities coming in very freely this week, and allowing ourselves to purge those things for these new opportunities to really blossom. So really beautiful. So So we're learning new ways to love. We're learning new ways to show up for ourselves. And it's like, don't beat yourself up in this process, because this is something that all of us are learning. We can't be perfect yet, so allow yourself to learn from those things. So once again, we have some stronger advice here as well, to stop listening and adhering to the rules and dictations of life, and to stop conforming to the pain and patterns of yesterday. Okay, so this was a very clear message to once again to call ourselves out where we might still be stuck in patterns. So an example of this is when we are comparing ourselves to the societal standards of life, where we'll use this example in career. Well, I'm not successful yet because I haven't made this much money, or I haven't reached this promotion or standard that society has dictated I need to meet to be worthy, to be recognized, okay? So once again, we have all these unwritten rules that society, and sometimes our family as well, can put upon us without having this full awareness. So this week, we're being very much reminded to have that awareness going into this week, where we're still adhering to the rules and dictations of our family, of our loved ones, of what has been expected of us in society, and where we need to now stop conforming to these rules. So once again, what are the rules that you live by, and are they truly your own creation? Are you creating a life in full authenticity, or are you creating life according to what society and family and loved ones are dictating of you? So once again, stop conforming to the pains and patterns of yesterday. So even if this has been true all the way up until you've heard this message, if you've been conforming, if you've been people pleasing, if you've been staying small, know that you no longer have to do so. And that all starts by choosing different today. So in this moment, each of us have this opportunity to choose to live differently, to choose to open our minds, even when it's painful to admit, where we've perhaps not done this in the past, perhaps where we need to own our past, own our pain, own our mistakes, and learn different. So huge theme of reparenting ourselves this week. There's just so much coming through here. And with that, we need to remain vigilant. So this is the other message right after this. Remain vigilant in your focus and where you are placing your energies, okay? Because all is rapidly manifesting into form. So we have a huge vortex of manifestation that's coming through, and that has been coming through the past few months, and is going to be well moving in through, I'm seeing spring. So we're having this huge vortex of manifestation. So whatever we're focusing on is rapidly manifesting and materializing into the physical, into our reality. So we need to be very conscious of what we're partaking in, what energies we're consistently partaking in. And once again, we might need to be honest with ourselves. Am I really in a state of love, or am I more in a state of fear on an everyday basis? And which do I need to choose consciously each day? And calling ourselves out and doing that work of where we need to correct. Okay, so be very honest and truthful, and recognize where we need to shift things. All right, so I'm seeing a lot of truths that are going to be shown to us this week, a lot of shadow work that's coming through to bring that darkness into light, and to love and honor our human experience regardless. Okay, once again, letting go of those needs to judge ourselves, to make ourselves feel less than. We need to cultivate this compassion for self as we evaluate these triggers and perhaps these shadow aspects. Okay, so very strong message. Don't lose your compassion. Remember to love yourself and to really analyze these shadows with that love-based perspective. So with this, we've seen this recall of power, and I'm seeing this also trickle into, once again, our relationships and predominantly our speech this week. So there was a very strong message of being mindful of how we are speaking and how we are, or how our words hold power. So this week we're being very called to be mindful. Where do we need to stay silent? Where do we need to not partake in gossip or in language that is tearing others down or even tearing ourselves down? So being very mindful of not speaking and bringing those energies, that power, to things that are destructive and not conducive to who we want to be now. So I'm really seeing this awareness come in of gossip this week, so be very mindful. Do not participate in these negative and low vibrational energies, okay? So very strong message that wanted its own category was our speech. So this trickles into how we are addressing and talking about ourselves. Do you consistently tear yourself down in front of others? Do you consistently, swat away compliments? Do you consistently talk negatively about your body, about what's happening in your life? And how can we choose to instead feed our energy and funnel our energy into words that are uplifting, into speech that is loving of ourselves and others? And we're really needing to once again come to that empowerment and not choose language that is disempowering. So we're having this little of a reminder here that what we put out comes back. So stay in a high vibration, stay in the vibration of love. So we had this example that popped in. It was very interesting. So we had this reminder, what would Jesus do? And if you don't identify with Christ, what would love do, right? What would that unconditional loving energy choose each day? And how can we start coming from that base of love over fear, over those true motives? So once again, I'm hearing this reminder of what our motives are as well. So the side message, if we are feeling this urge to participate in gossip or tearing others down or speaking negatively, once again, remind yourself, what is my motive in this? Is this a love-based motive or is this a fear-based motive? Is there energies of jealousy, of envy, of hurt, and really getting clear on that. What are my motivations for this conversation? What are my motivations in my perspectives of this person? And what is this really mirroring to me? Okay, so be very mindful. So once again, how would you like to be treated? Don't get wrapped up in power plays, drama, or games, okay? Strong message here, live and let live. Cultivate the understanding of oneness and division. Where do you currently stand? Okay, so allow room for error and growth. We're all human. Sometimes we can say things we don't mean, or even if we do mean, it's like understanding where we've been making mistakes and where we need to readjust, okay? So really be mindful. Where do we stand when we know we want to promote oneness? Are we actually doing that in our lives? Are we making our lives ones that really promote that energy, or are we still participating in energies of separation and division between ourselves and others? Okay, so be very mindful. I'm seeing this be a very sneaky, understated energy that we might not have had knowledge of before. So once again, we're getting this check of the ego. And once again, we're getting this reminder, don't be hard on yourself. We don't know it all. No one will. So allow yourself to really be flexible and allow yourself this room for growth and self-analysis. So what I wrote here was, stop trying to figure life out and just live. Forgive yourself and what you feel you've done wrong. And remember, there are no mistakes, just lessons, okay? Just lessons, just more opportunities for growth. So as these things crop up, once again, sometimes we can have this harsh judgment, but remember not to fall into that. Cultivate that compassion for self and go, okay, I'm going to not participate in this anymore. I'm going to choose different, and I'm going to choose to act from a place of love, of understanding and compassion for self and others. So really beautiful. So with this, we have this new motivation for life purpose coming in this week. So ground yourself in your life purpose. And a continuation of this was living in a state of harmony and flow, peace and contentment. Okay, so I want to repeat that. Ground yourself in your life purpose, living in a state of harmony, flow, peace, and contentment. So once again, sometimes we can tie our life purpose to a specific job, career, or action in life. But what I'm really hearing, it's bigger than that. How can we really connect with that energy of harmony, peace, contentment, joy, love, whatever it is that you're feeling that call to, and if all of them, really allow yourself to connect with those energies this week. And once again, do that self-analysis. Where do I stand in these areas right now? How can I start cultivating these qualities in my life right now? And it's what really matters most. And once again, we have this awareness of creating with our thoughts instead of destroying with our thoughts. So we have this huge reminder, remember to take control of your thoughts, take control of your mind, and really participate in thoughts, in conversations, and in material that is uplifting, okay? So once again, get re-inspired for life, reignite that passion for your life purpose, and really understand that the energies we partake in today are what's going to show up tomorrow. So once again, this awareness of manifesting what we put out is so important. So with that, don't lose sight of your joy, even throughout this time of shadow work and complication that might come forward. I'm really seeing some of us may be tested this week by these old patterns, these old ways of being, and we're really getting this strong message. Stay true to who you are now, okay? Reflect on your core values. What do I believe now? Who am I now? What do I want to participate in now? What do I stand for now? And reignite that passion for your purpose, with who you want to be, and ground yourself in that, okay? So from here, I wrote, do not sacrifice, settle, or change for anyone or anything. Remain steadfast in your truth, in your authenticity. It's time for the secrets of you to be brought to light, to liberate yourself from all shame, to come to true acceptance and compassion, reaffirming who you are. Stay true to you. So absolutely stunning final message for us this week, to remember how we need to continue to choose ourselves. We need to continue to decide, to make up our minds to live life on our terms, the way that resonates with who we are now, not yesterday, who we are in this moment, and truly cultivating the courage to instill that within us, that motivation, staying true regardless of what happens externally. Okay, so with this, I'm seeing huge awakening energy. So a lot of us are waking up to who we really are, to our true purpose here, to our destiny. We're remembering, we're recalling our past gifts. I'm seeing huge expansion energy here as well with this healing that we're doing, with this cultivation and integration and acceptance of all versions of us. And we're seeing some soul contracts as well fulfill, because I'm seeing a lot of us have these pivotal moments this week and in the past few months even, where we're really stepping into who we are and we're fulfilling the lessons that we've come here to learn. So be mindful of this. This is not simple and easy work that we're doing. So maintain your steadfastness in this, maintain your power. Keep reminding yourself how powerful you really are and how you deserve this next new chapter in your life, because I'm seeing so many of us really get to the home stretch in our healing here. So don't give up. Remember, how powerful you are and how supported you are. I'm seeing a lot of us need that support this week, so don't shy away from reaching out to those who can help you. If you resonate with sessions, if you resonate with practitioners, do that for yourself, okay? Very strong message. So to end our reading today, I want to pull us an angel number. So I just flipped open my angel number book, and we have 496. It says, connect with what brings you closer to God and to love. Let go of all that is not serving you. So very apt. So this is definitely a week of letting go, of releasing, but remember to reconnect with that beauty, with that love, with source, with your peace, with those things you really want to cultivate in your life, and really make time for that and have the courage to take what you need, okay? Also, reminder here to call in Archangel Michael to help you. I'm feeling his presence very strongly throughout this whole reading, so wanted to bring that up. Be very mindful of your angels. Be mindful of those who can really help you to really let go and truly cut cords to what isn't serving anymore, okay? So remember your guides, remember how they're here to help us, and really hone in on their assistance. So my friends, I'm sending you all so much love and light. That is all I have for this week's reading. Once more, if you need help or assistance, and if I can offer that to you, please don't hesitate to reach out to me personally. I'll leave my details below. If you would like to book a deep healing session with some Reiki, some balancing, some clearing, and some channeled messages from your own guides, I would also love to do that for you. I am taking new clients. So hopefully hear from some of you soon. And in the meantime, have a beautiful and blessed week. Bye.